Welcome everybody to another episode of the CD Sport Podcast with me, Kerry Davis. Joining us today, all the way from Japan, professional rugby referee, Craig Evans. How are you, Craig?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Kerry. I'm good. Been a little bit bored in isolation, stuck in my room for the last 3 days, but yeah, glad to be here, and even more so, be glad to leave the four walls.
How long have you got to stay in the ISO for now?
I've been in the ISO since Wednesday morning when I arrived. I arrived about 5 o'clock in the morning to the airport. That process was going to be quite a long one, where there was multiple checks, obviously because of the COVID stuff and all, and I had to do a PCR test when I arrived in the airport, and I couldn't leave there till I had my result back. But luckily, I was from London to get in a taxi. I was only 2.5 hours, so, and that's the PCR test as well. So fair play to the Japanese; they were rapid there. Yeah, just been in the hotel. Probably my highlights of the days so far have been the fact I got aircon when it's 40 degrees outside, and probably Uber Eats, just testing out Japan and Uber Eats, trying to get a different one each time, and going to meet my Japanese driver. He's probably been the highlight as well, but it's the only person I've seen other than the boys. Yeah, we were out this morning doing a bit of training. First time we got outside. I was out of the jail, I call it. But yeah, look, just get a bit of the heat, get a bit of training in, similar bit of a recce tomorrow in the stadium, and then let's go. It all kicks off on Monday morning, day one.
Day one, Monday morning. So I was going to say, you're going to be reffing in 40 degrees, yeah?
Yeah, it's about 40 degrees and about 70-80% humidity, and how they're doing it. It's a shame there's no fans. Obviously, if it was on last year, international fans could have come. And up until only recently, we were going to have just Japanese fans here, which would have been unreal because they get behind everything. They're such nice people, and they would have filled the stadiums, and all the tickets are gone. But Tokyo's under a state of emergency until the 26th of August. So it's going to be no fans. And for some of the guys coming from up south who have had crowds in their Super Rugby, they'll find it weird. But for us guys up north who's been involved in like the European rugby or the Pro 14 and stuff like that, we haven't had crowds all year. So it's just like another tournament really, where we just hear our own voices or their voices really. But like I've said on to many people and different things, that I'd rather be in the jail here or in the hotel for a bit and go to the Olympics than it be off and never do it. Because when I first started in 2016, after Rio had been, all was on my mind was I want to go to Japan. It's a final tick for me. Like I've done the World Series for the last 4 years. I know it's 5 years now, but there's been no World Series, so I can't really count it. Yeah. Done the Commonwealth Games and the World Cup in 2018. So this is the last thing for me in 7. So I'm just glad it's going ahead.
That's brilliant. So even if it was last year, you would have still been there. If it was obviously. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, still would have been there. But like we spoke about, we would have come in a bit earlier. We'd have had 10 days in, say, Kitakishu or something, doing training, acclimatizing, tech stuff. Then we'd have moved it to Tokyo. And as officials, we're not in the athletes village because, well, I suppose we are athletes in a way, but we're not in that respect. Yeah. We're in a hotel in Tokyo side, so no, we're not in the athletes village. But this year now, and obviously we could have stayed on last year if we wanted to, gone on a trip after it, experienced Tokyo during the day, or gone to see certain things. But now, like it was in on the Friday, 2-3 days to get over the flight jet lag and acclimatise, and into it on Monday. I was meant to fly home on the Thursday straight after the tournament, but I had 4 or 5 flights cancelled. So I'll be leaving probably early hours Friday morning, and which will make me arrive in London about 6 o'clock Friday morning then.
Brilliant. And
so in and out in 6 days.
Yeah, it's like you said, it could be worse, but at the end of the day, you're still over there, and you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like,
yeah, look,
I'd rather be there. And
yeah, look, it's going to be Olympics that no one forgets for obvious reasons with COVID and what everything's been through, and Japan were really pushing to get it going because they want to show the world that like this is the start of getting out of this pandemic. And yeah, like I said, no one will ever forget this one. So yeah, it's great to be part of it, and I think I'll only realise how great it was of an achievement or an occasion when it's over and I'm on the flight to London in a couple of weeks' time, when I'm having a bit of off season, I can look back and think, geez, I've been to Olympics. Like, but now, because I got a job to do, I just got to focus on them games and just do the best I can.
Brilliant. Can't wait to watch it, to be honest. Do you know, like, your games yet? You're reffing? Have you had all that given to you?
Yeah, we know what we're doing on day one.
Yeah.
We got day one's fixtures, and obviously depending on how they go, then depend on day 2 and day 3 when you get into the knockout matches and obviously the medal games. So my first game of the tournament will be South Africa against Ireland, and then my second game is going to be New Zealand Argentina. So 2 quite toughies to start off. But look, you come out here to get stuck into it, and those 2 games are just ones you got to roll your sleeves up and let's get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brilliant. Any big names for like New Zealand come through, or anyone you know?
Well, Caleb Clark, he was training with them, but I don't think he made the initial squad. I think he's come over as a travelling reserve. Australia got Karevi playing.
He's
he's there. What's happened this time compared to Rio was, in Rio there are a lot of 15s boys coming in, which a lot of the 7s boys missed out then. So for instance, you had like Sonny Bill and Akiro Ioane and that for New Zealand. I think you had Quade Cooper tried for Australia. Oh, you also Sonny Bill for New Zealand. You had Cheslin Colby for South Africa. You had a lot of 15s boys coming, like Johan Imhoff for Argentina. But this time, I think they've all gone down the route of just mainly the 7 squad that's been carrying them through for the last 4 years. And it is 2 different games for a player and for a referee. It is 2 different games. So just because they're a world star in 15s doesn't mean they can come in and rip it up here. Because I think the prime example of that everyone's talking about was in the Monaco 7s. You got a massive star like Malakai Fekitoa out for Tonga. I ref the game against Ireland, and a couple of Irish boys like Kennedy or Jordan Conroy, because they're out and out 7 specialists, just run rings on them.
Yeah.
And it's different. Like I said, it's different game.
Fekitoa was in Monaco recently, was he, with Tonga?
Yeah, he played for Tonga, because I think he wants to get in through the 7s route to get back and play for his native country and potentially the 2023 World Cup for Tonga. Because I know Charles Piutau wanted to do the same thing, but that weekend Bristol had their semi-final in the Premiership, so he couldn't be there.
Yeah, right.
That's how I believe the story is. Yeah.
Fekitoa, he's in France. Where's he now? Is he in France or Wasps?
Wasps.
Yeah, Wasps. He is done with the All Blacks then. Oh, right. Yeah, I see. I follow him on Instagram actually, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know he was going to. I didn't know he was going into 7s, to be honest. But no.
I think he wants to go into Tonga 15s, but I think the route into Tonga 15s is through the 7s. I think first to show allegiance back to the country. I think so. Yeah. I think there's a way of getting back in, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get in there, the 15s anyway. We'll go back a few years, Craig. I want to have a quick chat, like how you got into reffing, because I remember when I was like in youth playing for Abercrave, you were like reffing me in those games, So
I remember them.
Did you play like as a youngster?
I played up until under 16s, and that's probably as far as I went, because the team I was playing for was never really getting the numbers, and teams were folding. And I was always played a year up when I played in Cumgrach, because I'm from Gleneath, and I've always lived in Gleneath, but Gleneath never had the age group never had the junior section of that age group, if you know what I mean, when I was playing. So me and my brother Ashley Evans were playing in Cumgrach, and look, I'm not gonna lie, I was never gonna make it as a player, and I knew I was never as good as my brother. He was scoring tries, and I probably had trouble spelling try. But no, he was the player, and I wasn't. And like both our parents were on like a junior committee, so my father was a chairman, mother was secretary, and when I was getting games called off on a Sunday, there was multiple phone calls to the house saying, I don't know, Annette, Martin, ref haven't turned up, or we can't get a ref for this game. And that was every week. And I was like, look, Mum, I've got no real interest in this, but I'm not going to play until the new season now with youth rugby with Cumgrach, with Gleneath or Cumgrach or something. So look, just pay for me. We're going to course, and I'll help you guys out on a Sunday morning. It didn't bother me. So I went on the course, £15 down in Tai Bar. I think it was like 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the afternoon, death by PowerPoint. And the best thing about that day was the buffet at 12:30. Like, that was the best thing of the day. That was right, because I got it. My attention span isn't great. Law exam at the end, you have to have 70% to pass, and I failed first time. I had 69, just 1% off.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, the referee course now is it's way different now. Like, this is, you're not a little bit of PowerPoint, but then you're demonstrating things on the pitch or in the clubhouse, of ruck, scrums, mauls. It's more interactive, bit of touch rugby. It's much more enjoyable now, and it's much more modern than what it used to be. So I think that might have been back in, when was that? Maybe in 2008 or something. I don't know. I might have qualified then. I was 15, 16, so 2007, something like that. But then I was only old enough to do like junior rugby. I had to wait till I was 16, probably do junior rugby. Jesus, long time, nearly 30 years, so it's quite a while now. So I just had the junior section, couldn't do it that way. And I thought, I'll give it a go. And then I started giving it a go, and I thought, I'm actually missing rugby, if I'm honest. Or even going to watch Gleneath on a Saturday, play like Kemfagil or Skewin or something, go watch something like that. I thought, I'm missing that. I want to go watch them. And then it was a couple of weeks, I'd go watch them. And I come home, my father would be like, "Oh, won today, boy." And I'm like, I don't know. I just sat on the fence and talked to the boys. So I didn't really watch the games. I thought to myself, look, I'm not going to make it as a player. I'm enjoying the referee doing the Sunday with the youngsters, helping them out. So I thought, like, when I just put my head down and see how far I can go with the refereeing. And that's probably the only chance I got of going to a high level in the game. So that's what I've done. Like, and I'm sat here now. I've been professional for the last 6 years, and I just signed another 3-year contract. So, the places I've been, the people I've met, and what I've experienced is incredible to think I've done it just from blowing a whistle and showing a yellow and a red card. It's not a joke, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, and because my brother was always a player. He done Wales Sevens, Wales 20s, Ospreys, LV with the Scarlets, but he was always a player, and I knew that I wasn't. So I realized that I wasn't naive and took a different route. You know what I mean? Took the other side of the fence.
That's brilliant. Because like normally you especially like rugby players, they might get a bit older in their career, then maybe they get injured or something, and then they go, I want to be a ref. But like I said, I remember when you used to ref us in the youth, and I always wondered because, what are you, 92 you're born here?
91.
Oh yeah, same age as me, then. So you're the same age as us boys, weren't you? And you were reffing us. So I was like, why doesn't he play like? But I never knew that.
Yeah, I remember I come over to a couple of training sessions, Rabbit Crave, because there's no real teams around me. So I come over to play with the youth, and you got that other pitch now on the main road, not the main pitch, the other one a bit further up towards Dana Rogoff, on the left hand side.
The boys' clubs, the boys' club.
Yeah, I think I come to a session there with Gar Toms. Come up there with him. That's a laugh. You say Gar Toms do anything, all he do is laugh. So I came up there for a session. I think a second session in, foot in a portal, and I cracked my ankle. I didn't go back in.
Did you?
Yeah. So I came up with him. Just rolled my ankle in one of them divots or something like that. But yeah, it was many moons ago that was.
I think that's a sign from the gods. That would have been, wouldn't it? It's like,
I think it was. I thought that was useless, and he confirmed it.
Yeah, it was like, right, we'll stick to the whistle.
Off we go. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So obviously, and you went through obviously, how's it work? And you just got to keep going up in levels and levels.
So when I done to be honest, I've just looked at it as a massive apprenticeship. When I first started, there wasn't many young referees doing it, and I was going into second team games, not even old enough to play in these games, and then I'm telling people in the front row who have many moons ago played for Neath or Swansea something what I wanted to do. They're thinking like, who's this little dickhead trying to tell me what to do? Like, and I've never been that barky kind of referee. I've always been the one to try and show a bit of personality, have a crack on the pitch, and in downtime, if you can have a laugh and a joke, and just human. Like, I haven't come to ruin your Saturday afternoon. If I make a mistake, then I'm hold my hands up and wrong, and I probably made the same for them. But if I'm consistently good for both of you, great. But if I'm consistently bad, as long as I'm consistent in either way, you can't really go wrong. You know what I mean? So you start off at level 1, and then you do some junior rugby, and then you go into like some second team games, and then if that goes well, you go to level 2 is second team, do 2 years in a district like Neath District, up to Abercrave, like go to Sir Gunlies, go to Neath Athletic, go to Tom Mawr, Tonna and stuff like that. And then if those go well, then you go on the list they call, which is level 3, and you just work at the time and you work your way through divisions 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 championship up into Prem, then just go there. So there's no other exams. It's all done on merit and performance then.
Yeah, right. So after Premiership, obviously, is like Carmarthen Quins and
Swansea,
stuff.
Flint. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's all that.
That's after that. Then can you do regions then, or is that another level?
Yeah. So yeah, the highest you can go in Wales in the domestic leagues is the Premiership. Yeah. And then if you're refereeing the Premiership well, you get the opportunity in the Pro 14.
Yeah.
So I've been in the Pro 14 the last few years, probably done 10 games in there. Yeah, about 10 games in this year. I think I've only done about 20 or 21 games in the Pro 14, if I'm honest. So I haven't done a great deal. So to get that tier 1 game of England, Canada last week after only doing 20, 21 games was pretty cool and pretty special. But yeah, there's a lot of traveling involved. Like we spoke before the call, and there's a lot of traveling involved, but I enjoy it. It's pretty cool. I get to see some wicked cities in Europe, some cool places in South Africa and that with the Pro 14. And then when it comes to Europe, I'm going to cool little places in France, like Toulon, Bordeaux, Marseille, or anywhere like Nice, just where when I say like Marseille and Nice, sometimes you've got to fly into these places to get to the rugby team. So you may stay in them areas. You're not there for the rugby, but you've flown into them areas, so you get to see them areas. And if you choose to stay there instead. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty special, in fairness.
Got you, yeah. And say now, like just say you were flying to Toulouse now, for example. How much notice do you have for you going to France on the weekend?
Yeah, it all depends. Like for instance, Europe is normally 2 weeks in October, so you may know like the start to the middle of September where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So like with the Pro 14, you normally know roughly 3 weeks in advance, but it can be times in the season where you can know a week or two before. So yeah, it's been because of COVID this year. Sometimes we've known on the Monday where we go on the weekend, you know what I mean? Or a couple of days before that because of COVID, because everything's just up in the air, you know? So just showing a bit of resilience and just adapting. Well, that's all the 16 months has been for everyone really, is adapting to things. So yeah, you can know up to 3 weeks in advance, depending on tournament and stage of the season, but it can be as short as 1 week. But normally, like your trips to France with Europe, because they're in blocks of 2 every few months, you know them probably 3 weeks before. Yeah,
you know roughly where you're at.
Yeah.
Tell the listeners that we were talking before, just before you got to Tokyo now, and obviously you ref England, USA. Tell them the week or 2 weeks you had before that, like traveling and refing.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Look, I had my first child, Chelsea, and I had our first child on the 8th of June, little Hugo. He's doing well. He's qualities. You know, I wonder now what I'd done with all the spare time I did have, because now I could do with 36 hours in a day instead of 24. And that's mainly to catch up on sleep. So he was born the 8th of June. 15th of June, I went to Monaco for 6 days to ref the Olympic repechage tournament down there. I came back from there after being there 6 days. I went straight to Romania, more or less, for 3 days to run touch Romania and Argentina. Then the following week, I refereed England, Canada, first tier 1. So I was in London for a few days. And the week after then, I've obviously flown to Tokyo now, and I'm here for just over a week. So I'll be back home next Friday the 30th. So, you know, lucky he's at a young age. He does realise how much his father's away at the moment. But look, if I didn't have the support of Chelsea that I got, I couldn't be doing what I am now. And I've said it to a lot of boys, the last 4 years in the sevens, when you're doing, like I've done 30 odd tournaments now, and most of them you're away for 17 days, say like New Zealand, Australia, you come home for 14 days, and then I got to go straight to Vegas and Vancouver, or LA and Vancouver, depending which one it is. So like I'm home for a bit, away for a bit, and I'm glad I'd done the sevens when I did and had the opportunity when I was younger, because I couldn't justify going on the sevens now with the little one. It'd be tough, and Chelsea have to stop her job, which isn't fair. So I hit the sevens at the right time. It's been really good to me, and it's been huge for my development both on the field and off the field, just like my maturity, how I've developed as a referee, my technical ability, physical ability, just and the fact of, how does my body deal with jet lags and it's small like that. And also off the field when it comes to reviewing games, just honesty, but then also staying in the same hotel as 16 teams that you're actually refereeing the weekend. 16 happy or angry coaches, depending which way you give a penalty or a try or a yellow card.
Yeah.
Having awkward conversations in lifts with players where you referee them. So it just builds up a bit of strength there, and just to back yourself, and obviously just have these just be comfortable being uncomfortable in these situations. So that's helped tremendously. And in the beginning I was thinking, do I want to do sevens? I want to focus on 15s. I want to do that, but to take the step to the side slightly and do sevens and my 15s run alongside it a little bit was the best thing I ever done. I recommend it to any young referee that comes up, like the opportunity of sevens, take it with both hands, because I'm with no doubt that if I hadn't gone down the sevens route, I don't think I'd be sitting here as confident or as happy as where I am if it wasn't for, like, for instance, like you'll go to Cape Town or you'll go to Dubai, and you're refereeing 6 times a weekend in front of 55,000 people, and whereas 15s you got a bit more time at the breakdown and certain things. Sevens is so quick. Your thought process, your pictures, you got to be sharp, you got to be on it. So if you can do that with 55,000 people 6 times a weekend, and you got to go down and ref, I don't know, say the Scarlets, the Ospreys, or someone is like 8 or 10,000 there, and it's a much slower, you're already much more calm and confident because you used to be in high pace in big crowds. So when you got a bit more time to filter things, I think, does this need to be penalised? Has it got material effect? Yes or no? You got time to do that in 15s because your pictures are much sharper. You can see things sometimes before they happen and know what's going to happen. With sevens, you've got to be more reactionary, and you've got to get ready, and you've got to go for it, because in sevens in the breakdown, it's not like a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1. So if you're going to make a decision, it's going to be sharp. Sometimes in 15s, because it's flooded with players, the teams do the work for you and just clear things off, and you just cog around and go again like that. So the two games are different.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, sevens would be it is a different sport, like we said earlier, wasn't it? Like sevens to 15.
Yeah,
but
you can do in a game of sevens. Obviously, each game is different, take it on merit. But in a game of sevens, it's 7 minutes each way, so you got a bit extra time. Call it 16 minutes. Bit of walking around for like scrums and line out.
Yeah.
I'll do over 2 to 3K easy in the game, easy, and most of that's high speed running. Something you obviously get a lot of fatigue from sevens. Your legs are heavy, but it's more from the decelerating on the hamstrings to take the punt, and then you got to go sharp again. But when you're reffing players like Carlin Ellis, Paddy Baker, and Dan Nortons and them kind of people, I'm not going to catch them. So not to look like an idiot, if they go on an arc around the halfway line, 10-meter line, I'm going straight down the middle and I meet them with the posts. So it looks like I'm just as fast as them, but they've done 50 meters more than me.
Yeah, that's it. Because obviously when they score, the ref has got to be right by them, don't they? So if they
we got to thing them. We got to thing them the sevens. There's none of the refs getting a 22, then it's a fine or a forfeit or something. You got to get in that 22.
Is it?
But you got to do something like that. I got to keep it a bit interesting. Especially sometimes you get caught in deception and they go to the middle when you've had it. You're probably going to pull an hamstring before you get near them. The pace of these people, like, Carlin Ellis, what's he doing 100 meters in 10.4, something like that? Ridiculous.
That's crazy speed.
It's ridiculous. So that's why if people like that crack on, meet you by the post, mate.
And with the sevens, it's a summer sport, isn't it? So you're constantly following the hot weather, are you?
Yeah. Out of the 10 tournaments, I think the only cold or wet one we go to is Vancouver.
Oh, right.
In February, but the training is outside in the snow or the rain, but the stadium's fully enclosed. 55,000 seat the stadium, fully enclosed.
Oh, it's like
pitch, so
right.
Yeah, it's a dome. It's unreal. And obviously London and Paris start of June can be a hit and miss, but Dubai, Cape Town, Hamilton, Sydney, LA is a bit cooler that time of year. Boiling, Singapore, Hong Kong, boiling, and then London, Paris can let it down a bit.
Yeah, at the end, like, I'd love to do a set. I've always loved to say, like, I always said Hong Kong, because I think Hong Kong is that's like the famous one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hong Kong Sevens. But like as a
Dubai is
fan,
class, so
which one?
Dubai, because
Oh,
with the
Dubai as
Dubai
well.
tournament, you got the main one there, but there's also got you got 12 pitches around the main pitch in Dubai, which got like invitational sevens tournaments on.
Yeah.
You got netball tournaments on. You got a stage there with music playing. You got everything going on. It's just a crackers weekend for 2-3 days. Like it's so sick, and it's only a short flight, then it's 6-7 hours each way, and it's quality, and that time of year in Dubai is perfect. About 25 to 32 degrees, where it's cozy, like in fairness.
Not 50 degrees like normally, like because Dubai's in December, isn't it? The winter.
Last first week of December. Yeah.
Maybe I should get out there, get the boys out there, do a trip. But
do it.
Yes.
Do it.
That's what I want to talk to you about too, Craig, is the training for a ref. Like, like let's take COVID and all that out of the situation now. But say like Monday to game day on a weekend, like what's the routine there?
Yeah, look, I think I touched on it before we spoke. I think a lot of people think referee just turns up on a Saturday, spoils someone's afternoon, goes home as a curry, and then the following week, let's go spoil someone else's Saturday. And just, I think people just think that people do it from September to May, just go around and spoil people's weekends. But it's far from that. I know a lot of people who are amateur and they ref on the weekends. If the game is video, they will do analysis. But with us being professional, like I probably put more time goes into pre and post game than it does to do a game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, if I was doing a game on a weekend, I'd look at the scrums and line outs for the two teams involved from the previous two matches to get some pictures. Then the review process, you go through everything. But as for training, for instance, on a Monday, I may do like an off-feed session in the morning and upper body in the afternoon. Just purely just for training because I enjoy it. Tuesday is normally an aerobic running session up at Vale in Cardiff for the trainer, and then maybe some lower body after it. Wednesday is normally a light day, just off, so I'll just do my body weights. Thursday is running and lowers again. And then depending if you travel on the Friday or when your game is in the weekend, you might squeeze in another weight session. But that's me. That's my program. I enjoy training. I don't do it to see how much I can bench, how much I can squat. I just do it for health, aesthetics, and just pure enjoyment. A bit of socializing, if I'm honest with you. But that's the training side. That's the training side of things. Like in a game, 15s, I think that one I done the other week in England, I done just over 8K in the game. Like, so you can clock it up. You can clock it up, but you can clock it up. The training is tough. Like for instance, the sevens, the training you do for 15s is, if you train for sevens, you ref 15s, you hardly break a sweat in some games because it's just so much slower. But like for the sevens, for instance, we got to do bronco tests I think we do bronco about 3-4 times a year, which is basically have you heard of the bronco test before?
Yeah. You could tell people what it is. I know.
Yeah, you just go. You go from zero. You got a cone at 0, cone at 20 meters, another one at 40 meters, another one at 60 meters. So you go from the start line and 0, which is the try line, 0 to 20 and back, 40 back, 60 back, 5 times continuous for time, which is 1.2K. And you do that as fast as you can. Basically, we do that 3-4 times a year to see where we're at, because that's perfect for our kind of things turning and going. And I think it's the way forward for all levels of the game, really.
Bowden Barrett does it like ridiculous speed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bowden Barrett.
4:12 he done. 4:12. My fastest one recently I done was 4:24. So
that's good though.
Yeah, I get a 4:24 because the Ben John on. Funny enough, Ben John was putting all the times up on his rugby trainer Instagram page a few months ago, and he's putting up who he knows on more places. So I think I was at the second or third on his list for times that he knows, and like Aaron Smith, people like Aaron Smith is on that list, and people from different sports, which is pretty cool. Like, yeah,
Jesus,
cool.
you are up there, yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, up there for now.
I did it last summer, randomly.
Oh, savage!
Yeah, but I can't remember what time I did. But it's hard.
Like the first time I ever done it, I went out way too hard. By the third rep, I felt like I was running on a treadmill. my head and heart was going for goal, but my legs weren't turning over. I was on a treadmill. But yeah, the trick for that is being efficient on the turns, like turning your body as you're going in, so you're in the direction you're pushing off. That's one of the main tricks for it. And probably the second one would be just find a steady pace. You can hold a good pace for three reps, and then just send yourself to a hole or send yourself to a dark place. The last two, just open up and go for it. But that's the better way to do it. But I went arse of a tit first time and run on a treadmill by round 3.
At least now you've got it down packed, in it. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully when I finish in the Olympics, I won't have to do another one for a long time.
So you are after Olympics now. You are done with the 7 completely.
Yeah, done with the 7s. Yeah, nice. Done with the 7s completely. I'm gonna fully focus on the 15s then. Yeah, but it will be tough leaving. It's been a massive part of my life for the last 5 years, and I owe it so much. But yeah, it's time to fully focus on the 50s because it is difficult to go between them both. Because when away in the 7s, the weekend I fly and the 2 weekends I'm away, so it's 3 weeks. I'm not refereeing scrums and lineups really,
Oh, yeah.
You've got 3 from each team in 7s. It's in, ball out normally, and line outs, they're up off the top when you play on. So you don't referee scrums, you don't referee lineup mods. But yeah, I'll never ever talk badly about 7s because I owe it so much.
Definitely. As a great sport too, great to watch, even if
look, for you as a fan then, what would you rather watch, 7s or 15s?
That's what I was going to say. Now, if my missus isn't massive into rugby, but if we sat down to watch 15s or 7s, she's going to be like, 7s are so much fun,
And why is that? Because there's so much space, there's so much entertainment, and there's so many tries scored.
Yeah.
And like you take your missus to a 15s game, she's probably bored, probably on Instagram or Twitter by 25 minutes in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take it to a 7s tournament, any ones I've mentioned, or any local ones around the country, and like it's just like a party vibe, it's a party atmosphere there. Like it's a cracking day out or a weekend out. I can't wait to be on the other side of the fence and actually enjoy it as a fan.
Yeah, have a few beers and watch it like.
Yeah, class.
After the Olympics now, have you got a few months off, chill out to the family?
I'll have probably a couple of weeks off in August, some time at home without being home and thinking of the next trip. It'd be home now, and I don't know where my next trip is, which is nice, and obviously it's a bit of off season. So I think I'll start back with I think I got like a local game on the 20th of August. I think I'm doing Trebanos and Estrevera, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, the 20th of August, Trebanos, Estrevera, I think. Yeah. Get back into some 15s.
Nice.
As the season starts ramping in. And then look, for me, I don't care what game I do. Just give me a game of rugby. And like, it's not about me, it's about the players. Like, and when I go to Trebanos, I go to Estrevera now, I know most of the players in both squads. So it's a great crack. Like, go in the club and have a beer with them after the game. That's what it's about. And like, I'll never, however long I referee for or however far I go, I'll never ever not say no to this game or it's beneath me. No chance. Check me in there. Know most of the boys. Let's have a crack and let's have a laugh.
Well, like Nigel Owens does, he goes back and ref. I know.
Yeah, of course he does.
He'd go back and say ref a Division 3 game or something like that.
Well, I think it was a weekend after the World Cup final. He was down doing Crumlin, Gowden against Crumlin, I think, or Crumach.
Jesus.
Yeah, he done Gowden against. Yeah, it's because he just wanted to do it. I think it was nice, a bit of a buzz. Like, I've just in the World Cup final. Let's do a game close to home and local. And I think the same as him. He's all about. He's not big time at all. He's not trying. I won't do this. I won't do that. And look, the biggest thing for me now is the last 2-3 months. He's been coaching me, and that's how it's going to work going forward. He's going to be my coach going forward for the foreseeable, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what better guys to have? Hey,
no, he's with Sky now, isn't he? With the Lions, have you seen that?
Yeah, he's doing a lot of commentating with the Lions. Yeah, in fairness, and he's not bad. They come down and pick him up in the car, take him to London, and bring him back down there. It's not bad.
That's how they do it today. Not literally that like that.
Yeah, well, he done it. That happened on one of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if they done it for all of them, because I know he won't be bothered to drive to London anymore. He won't mind me saying that. If he could, he'd take his tractor. He's enjoying the farm at the moment. Back to the farm life. He's loving it. As long as part of my coaching deal, I haven't go down and clean the shit out of the cow shed, I'll be happy.
Craig, I help you, but you got to come and do this. No, he's
Nigel.
He's like a big mentor in your career as well. Like,
he's always been a massive part of my refereeing career. From from day one, like when I first started on a sevens tournament, did the sevens down in College Cigar. He was there, watched it, and when I did my first Division 6 game, I think he was reffing Ulster on a Friday night against Munster, I think. And then he flew home early on the Saturday morning and come straight to my game to watch it. And he didn't have to do that, but he's invested time in it, and he's always been at the end of a phone to go through games with, or to call, or to just. He's always. When I say he's my coach now, he's always been there to help me if I wanted to know something.
Yeah.
But now it's more official, and he's more heavily involved now because he's not actively refereeing anymore. So that's why he can do it.
Yeah, right. So he's like totally, obviously now he just do like a cameo for Sky. Well, not cameo, I don't want to say cameo, but he'll help Sky Sports out and all that stuff.
Yeah, we work for Sky. He's been doing stuff in the Pro 14 for Channel 4, commenting on games. He'll do stuff for SPC, got his own talks and that he does about different things and that. He got his farm going on. He's all, even when he's refereeing, he was super busy. Busy.
Hey, have a word for him. Get him on the podcast from here.
Oh, I could sort. Yeah, I'll ask him. No problem.
Ask him.
Yeah, he'll do it. Yeah, he'll do it.
A few people asked me actually. Oh, get Nigel. This was like when I first started doing it, and they were like, "Oh, Nigel always be a good one." See, I said, "Oh, he's probably
he would
probably busy." He said,
"No, he would. No, he would do it. He just jump on through the podcast. In fairness, like I've listened to him on quite a few. So
nice.
Look, he wouldn't not do it if he got an hour spare his diary when it fits in with you. He'd jump on, no problem. It wouldn't matter to him.
You ref me once, I remember, and I'm not well. I played the one down at Slavera, Chunky Sevens.
Oh yeah.
He came down he was there for he refed some of the games there, and he refed that one of our games, like, and that's the only time he's refed me, like, but. Again, he didn't have to do that, does he?
Is that on again this year?
I'm not sure, Craig, to be honest. I haven't seen nothing advertised for it.
No, I've seen a few things playing on with Jam, or you've been talking about different things, but I'm not sure.
Not too sure.
It was a good weekend, though.
It was a good weekend. Yeah, great concept. Like you said earlier, it's like music going on. There's like
100%
bouncy castle for the kids.
It's something for the family, and it's a family day out.
Yeah.
It is. They cater for everyone, and really, and they know when, because it starts early in the morning. People stay all day, and on Mikey Raya.
Yeah, exactly. Get on the piss down there.
Great fun. Yeah, great fun. yeah.
That's what I wanted to touch on as well too. And you don't have to like go too deep in it, but I was just curious, like, how you getting paid to be a referee now? Like, who pays you? Is it like the WRU or is it the IRB? Or
so I got a full-time professional contract with Ulster Union, which is a salary, and then every nation is different. For instance, so for in Wales, we got a salary, and then we get all our match fees on top of the salary as well.
Right.
And obviously, depending on what games you do, obviously depends on the value on top of your match fee. So, for instance, this tournament now, which is World Rugby based, or like that game last week in England, or Pro 14. I'll get the match fee for those events, obviously depending on what it is. Like I said, depends on the fee amount. But then the Pro 14 will give that money to the union to cover that. Like World Rugby will give the money to the union to cover that, if that makes sense. So if I go and do a service for World Rugby, then World Rugby pay the WRU. That covers the cost that they've given to me then, and vice versa from like Europe, EPCR, Pro 14, Rugby Europe, World Rugby, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So to be honest, in a way, and because Pro 14, I got used to saying URC now.
URC, yeah.
Because URC give an X amount of money per referee each year. We are obviously cost union something, but a lot of our services are subsidized by the competitions and tournaments that we referee in, really.
Right.
But a lot of other nations then would be a salary, and they don't get match fees on top. It might be a slightly bigger salary, but then they don't get match fees on top.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons with both. Like with ours, we'll probably earn more with the match fees on top. But then obviously if we get injured and we don't referee a game, then you obviously don't get that match fee.
Yeah, but you just get your salary.
There's pros and cons. Like, it's all swings and roundabouts, and obviously depends on the games as well. But if you don't get injured, then you're probably better off this way. But if you do get injured, then you're probably better off that way. So look, for me, it is probably something I want to do in the next few years, is probably bring it all under one umbrella, purely because whatever you get at the end of January, you still get the same at the end of July. It doesn't fluctuate depending how many games you've done a month, what games you've done, or what tournaments. It's all consistent. So that's from another point of view. But obviously, because COVID hit the last 16 months, this wasn't the best time to bring it in and try and sort out. So we'll address that in probably address in 3 years' time, because like everyone, the players involved, we all took cuts with the union. Same as the regional players, the referees, we all took cuts. Every single member of staff in the WRU took a cut. So we're all in it together, to be fair. And it's just nice that I could be sat here in Tokyo knowing I got a job to go back to, and I didn't lose it, when there's thousands of people out there have lost their jobs through this pandemic. So what was a hobby for me turned into a job, and I'm still sitting where my hobby is my job.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel, obviously I'm working, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like work. You do something you enjoy,
Yeah, you love it. Like, that's brilliant. And
no, I love it.
We mentioned, I can't remember, we spoke a bit before we recorded, but the URC now next year is in, all the South African teams are in, aren't they?
Yeah, so Cheetahs and Kings are out. You got the four big dogs, they call it, the Super Rugby ones. You got the Lions, Sharks, and Bulls. All in.
I didn't realize the Cheetahs are gone, are they? They folded.
Yeah.
All right.
They've basically been, in a way, they've probably been kicked out for the 4 Super Rugby teams.
Right. Yeah.
For the four big ones. So yeah, the Lions, Sharks, Bulls, and Stormers. Yeah. So that'd be pretty special, and it's pretty cool when URC put a video out and they've teamed up with Rock Nation and Jay-Z's. Jay-Z's media and the band. That's pretty cool.
I saw that on I think Scrum 5's Instagram. Yeah. What does it mean? I don't understand it.
So Rock Nation got like an agency business, and Rock Nation is purely Jay-Z's brand, and he's an agent for Sia Khaleesi, obviously who won the World Cup for South Africa.
Yeah.
He's also Rock Nation has also signed Maru Itoje at the moment, so he's under their umbrella as well. So they do like a media kind of thing, and agency. So I think they got on board to probably snazz up and spruce up the videos, a lot of media content, and try and increase the interaction going forward. And to be fair, the branding looks pretty cool, looks pretty slick. So it's definitely got excitement from everyone who's involved in it to get rocking at the end of September.
Yeah, brilliant, that is. I think even Scrum 5 wrote something like, we might see Jay-Z in the crowd at like game and stuff. Like,
no, him and Beyonce, like, imagine it in Paris.
I know, or Rodney Parade or something. Like, I don't think they know what's going on, do they?
No.
What's going on here? You got Ryan Reynolds, I can take over Wrexham as well.
Mad, isn't it? How mad. It's good for Welsh sport, though, eh?
Good for Welsh sport. I DM. I just thought I DM like people that come on. Like, I DM'd you, innit? And I'll DM Ryan Reynolds now. Come and talk about. Come on the podcast and talk about why do you buy Wrexham football? But obviously he didn't. Reply. Obviously, there was no reply.
Don't ask, don't get, don't do.
Exactly. Like, sometimes I find I'll message someone and then, like, I'll just get a reply. Sometimes I'll just get a kind no. But the brand just won't reply or whatever. But
you'd rather a reply of some sort than a blank.
Of course, yeah.
At least you know either way. No, you can make it, or no, you can't make it. But hey, at least you got back to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or just like you said.
Like I said, I apologize. Now
what's that?
Took me 6 days, but I got back to you. It took me 6 days.
Oh, that's all right. I like you said earlier, having a new baby and all the stuff. Hugo, awesome. But totally understand.
Pleasure. Yeah, appreciate you asking me. In fairness, no, it's great.
No, I wanted to get a bit of an insight, and as I say, good luck over there. And like you said, start.
Appreciate that.
What day is it today? Saturday.
Saturday's 5:20 for us in the afternoon. So like we'll start 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, which is 1 o'clock in the morning UK time, because we're 8 hours ahead. So I don't think anyone in the UK, unless they're absolutely barking mad, will catch any in the morning sessions. I think the evening sessions start at 4 o'clock till about 7:30. So even 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's people probably watch the evening sessions. So 8 o'clock in the morning onwards, and it'd be good, some good rugby. And look, I cannot call who's going to take gold this year. I don't know. Obviously, Fiji are the reigning champions from Rio, but you look at the pools, you look at the teams. It's hard to choose what two are going to put in each group, and phenomenal players, phenomenal pools, and that's what we expect at the Olympics. So the competition is going to be high, but it's going to be exciting, and just roll on Monday. So to start the rugby and get out of this room.
I'm looking forward to it. And is that on BBC over here? Do you know? I think so.
Yeah, everything. I think BBC, like if it's not shown as one of the main events, I think it's the thing you can just go on the red button and choose whatever sport you want, because I think you're watching some of the weightlifting and some of the cycling earlier. There's so much on each day that you have to just go on the button and choose it, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, everybody get behind Craig on Monday now.
Thanks, any day.
I normally drop my podcast on Wednesday, but I might drop this today or tomorrow now, because if I drop it on Wednesday, you'll be done then. Yeah. Well, Thursday you finish there.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That was women's start on Thursday, so the men's tournament will all be wrapped up by about 1 o'clock about midday on Wednesday UK time. It'll all be wrapped up. The men's will by then.
There we are. I got to get this podcast out to then, like today maybe actually. I'll get done today now because early Saturday morning. And
and I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted. I was going out there anyway.
Brilliant, mate. It's appreciate you coming on, Craig. Any other
not at all.
Any other plugs or where we can follow you on Instagram or anything like that?
I'm on Instagram. Not really. I'm on Instagram. Just I follow you on there. You follow me, and I'm not going to plug anyone. I'm not starving. I'm not looking for followers. If people want to follow me, they can. If they don't, then just press back and go watch something else then.
That's brilliant. Hey, I like that. Fair play. Normally you have people saying the full spiel and you're like, listen, I'm not hungry for followers, so if you want to follow me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you got some, I was like I said, when I was doing a bit of research and stuff about you, I was going through your page. You got some really good photos on there. And like action shots,
some cool experience. Some cool experiences not on there. And like I said, sometimes you just ride the wave and you forget where you've been and what competitions you've been involved in. So like sometimes you just an aimless scrolls where you just go thinking, fuck it, I remember that. And just things just kept flashing back and memories, which is pretty cool, pretty cool.
And there's many more memories to make, Craig, by.
Yeah, 100%, but 100% the 15s game now. We'll got some little targets, we'll see if we can hit them.
Awesome. Looking forward to see it. Craig Evans, everybody. You.
Thanks, guys.